Hey everybody, Pure Marquette 1223 down here in my basement now to not a Lant review, not the Chicago and Joliet Electric, not the Mopac, not the Illinois Central, not the New York Central Chrome Extinguisher. No, it is my Indiana Harbor Belt Union Switch and Signal N2 Dwarf signal. Bought this signal a month ago and restored it cosmetically back to its former glory, and it looks damn good if I do say so myself. It is a 2-light dwarf. It was apparently on the largest interlocking in the United States, which is on the Indiana Harbor Belt somewhere. I don't know where. The signal was retired actually in 2010. So it had enjoyed a very long career with the Indiana Harbor Belt. I'm going to go over this this beauty, but I'm going to go through the front. Dual focal lenses in the front. It's got one lens on top of another lens, and actually on top of another lens. There's actually 3 of them in this one. That's the original glass lens in that one. And you will see actually when it's on that the sun actually faded the glass a little bit. The one down below is a red lens, but it has a replacement plastic lens on it because it either got broke or faded out at some point. It's like to. Completely took the front visors off and stripped those, and I must say whatever paint was on this thing was very, very resilient and good paint, because the only way it could be stripped off was not wire wheel, it had to be ground off. So very, very difficult time getting the paint off. These small tin numbers that are on the top are very interesting. This is supposed to be a 1, but it's kind of broke off. But it's a 5, a 2, and a 1, and these numbers are very, very pliable. The signal does work. Like I said, we only restored it cosmetically. The interior is all original, and it works. So I'm going to take and open it up for you, but we think that the door might have a bent hinge pin because it is actually requires a somewhat large amount of force to open this door. So I'm going to set you on top of the Chicago and Joliet here and open it. You just take and pull this out of the hole where a lock could go. I'll probably put that Rayco lock that was on that teardrop bell on this thing, because I don't need a lock. I don't need to lock that bell up. I'd like to show that thing moving. But then you take and twist it just enough. Then you take and pull it back. And now, of course, you would just, before you, or if the thing was open correctly, you just be able to take and slide it open. But because one of the pins is broke, we think it's the, or bent, we think it's the top one. You have to take and grab a hold of it and open it as such. Oh, I must have just touched, I must have touched wires. No biggie. What'd I do? Let me just make sure I didn't do anything here. Okay. I'm gonna turn it so you can see just a little bit here. Back of the door, those are screens that actually cover vents, because this thing will actually get very warm very fast. It's kind of dark in there, but we actually switched the 10-volt bulbs out with 12-volt car bulbs. Headlight or taillight bulbs, I can't remember which one, so they could take and tolerate 110, so they could take and tolerate 12 volts, because 10 they would get blown. But these screens actually go to vents that are on the back of the door. You can see these vents right here. These are vents. They were actually full of crap when we got in there, because the screens were doing their job at keeping pests out, like mice and whatnot. Because mice and insects and whatever will get into anything they can, you know, use to their advantage. But the weird thing about this door, or this this signal, I don't know if it's due to the old signal electronics, but the only way we can get it to work is by having the ground wire hooked up at all times and individually touching the powered section of this power pack to the wires that we hardwired up to the signals. We completely bypassed this, whatever, there was some stuff in here originally, but we had a pain in the neck trying to get to light this thing efficiently, because before, when we had to do it, We would have to unplug it, take the light bulbs out, let this thing sit for a few seconds, then we'd have to put the light bulbs in one at a time, and that wasn't even guaranteed to actually turn them all on at once. So it was very, very odd. We can never fix or find a way around it until we found this. This is the closest we've ever been to actually getting it to work correct. So I'm going to take and shut it back up and then show you this thing on. And it's really, really bright. I mean, not just because of the fact that there's car bulbs in it now, but I mean, I'm sure these things had to be seen for quite a bit of distance. Granted, it is a dwarf signal. It's not a searchlight. Not whatever. But, again, it's a nice little signal. Dwarfs are highly prized by anybody that wants just a signal of any kind because they're small and very easy to restore. So I'm going to take and move my camera. Well, I'm not going to move it. I'm just going to take and hook you up. Where's my wire nut at? No, my wire nut's right there. I'm going to take and get my wires all hooked up in here. Screw it on. Alright. You can see there's your red lens. And there's your yellow one. I know you can't see it very well, but the top of this lens is actually kind of foggy. Well, you can see it a little bit, I guess. But there's the Dwarf on. And I frequently will leave it on for long periods of time. So, it's a cool little job. Thinking about possibly getting rid of it for a profit because I would make money on this signal if I did sell it. I'm not going to tell you how much I paid for it because it is kind of a larger amount. I only told the teardrop because it is a smaller amount. But again, got it from a guy who got it from the Indiana Harbor Belt after the signal was deactivated in 2010. Obviously, it would be very hard to steal one of these because I'm no idiot and so forth. So, but anyway, just thought I would show you my Indiana Harbor Belt Union Switch and Signal N2 Dwarf Signal. 1223 out.